Welcome to the Houston Hustle, the podcast that spotlights the movers, the makers, and the doers shaping the city we love. Each week, we sit down with Houston's top entrepreneurs to talk who they are, how they built it, the principles that drive them, and what success means beyond the highlight reel. This is Real Hustle, real stories, real Houston. Welcome to Houston Hustle. I'm Dr. Paige Ward.
And I'm Dr. Charlie Ward.
And today we have our guest, Brian Gesner.
Yes.
Welcome, Brian.
Welcome.
For those who don't know you, tell us about who you are and what you do.
Brian Gesner. I own Prestige Air Conditioning Experts. As of next month, we will be in business 18 years.
Oh my God.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Kind of based right here in Spring, Woodlands area, but we service all of Houston. And we do air conditioning, refrigeration, chill water, wine rooms. If it cools, heats, or moves air, we basically do it.
I didn't even think about wine rooms.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I have just recently heard about how many people have wine rooms around here.
There's some crazy wine rooms too that we've done. Like we did one that was an entry closet. So you walk in the front door and the coat closet that's on the right-hand side, we just made it a little bit deeper and turned it into a wine room, and it held like 125 bottles.
Oh, okay.
And it's conditioned.
Just walking right
so
in.
cool.
Take your shoes off, grab a bottle of wine.
Yeah, right
Love
there.
it.
Within steps.
So was this always the plan? How did you get into this?
This was, I guess, always the plan. I started doing this with my dad when I was 10 years old.
What?
Yeah. And I just turned 49 November. So 39 years I've been doing air conditioning.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how long was he doing air conditioning?
Before that, like 5 years. And so he had just kind of started out, and he didn't have a lot of money for labor.
Yeah.
And so I was free labor.
Of course.
I could get back in the little
course.
bitty tight areas of the attic. Not anymore, but I could then.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about like the background of your company. I mean, I know like we've been talking about recently with a lot of business owners, like there's always the really good stuff, right? But what are some hard times you've gone through business?
Oh man. Lots of hard times. Hard times in the very beginning because you think you've got it all figured out, but you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
I was I was teaching technicians in their 20s when I was 15 years old because I'd been doing it since I was 10. I just gravitated to it so quickly. It just became so easy for me. So I was educated at a very young age. And so I kind of thought that I had it all figured out. And when I first started the company, I had no idea that I was a really, really good AC technician, but a horrible business.
That is important because so many people are like that. You can be the best in whatever you do, but
Yeah.
you don't know how to be a business owner.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. And so figuring all that stuff out on my own, without any kind of mentorship in the very beginning was very, very difficult for me. I very heavily believe in mentorship. If you're going to start your own business, you want to at least talk to someone on and off for a good 6 months, if not, hang around them for a couple of years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think we even see that in our own business. Like we had some mentorship in the beginning and then we kind of figured things out-ish, but now we have a business coach and it has helped us tremendously. And I don't think I'll ever not do that now just because I know chiropractic college is very similar in that like we learn how to be great chiropractors, right? And we're like, oh my gosh, we're the best chiropractors ever. But like if you don't know how to market, then like they don't teach you business. They don't teach
Who's
you
coming to get that?
Exactly.
service.
Exactly. And how many chiropractors are there? There's chiropractors all over the place.
Whole same with me.
Thing,
Yeah.
right. And so it's like what differentiates you? How do you get out and to meet people? And so that has really, really helped us learn how to do the business aspect of it. So what are your biggest areas of marketing for you?
Networking.
Yeah, you have a history in networking. We were talking about this before the podcast started, but tell the listeners your networking background.
So I didn't really believe in networking. I thought it was kind of a big hoax. And a woman named Laura Fisher talked me into going and visiting a group. So I had an employee in a group that had talked me into joining a group, and I didn't know anything about it. I had never been. I just knew that I was paying this money for it. Whatever, it better give me a return.
Yes.
I fired him for other reasons.
That's good.
But nevertheless, there was a vacancy in that seat. She came and asked me to please come. I went and visited. And I kind of liked it. And I tend to go towards the spotlight a little bit. I like to be in the spotlight. I like to be up on stage. I like all that stuff. And being, up there in the front and telling your commercial and your story, your origin story.
Right.
I kind of really like that stuff, And so I joined, and it kind of snowballed from there. They kept giving me more and more things to do, and they found that, people kind of gravitated towards me when they would come in and visit. And so I became like the visitor guy that started like coming up with a plan to grow the group. And then right before COVID hit, the group asked me to be the president. And I was like, all right, I don't know if I want to do that or not, but let's try it out.
Right.
And so I was president for a good 3 months or so before COVID hit. And then we had to transfer over, and we did some really cool things. But before we hit COVID, I got together with my team, and we said, all right, we've got big goals. We want to grow this thing to about 35. And at the time it was 15. And in a year's time, growing 20 members, that's pretty big, because you've got to also keep the members that you already have.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we ended up getting to 40 members that year. We held these after parties on Zoom where they would have sometimes 75, 80 people come join our Zoom and just hang out with us. And then we would like have a bar afterwards virtually, but everybody knows ahead of time, a few days ahead of time, have a bottle of bourbon or have your favorite wine or something ready.
Yeah.
Because as soon as the meeting's over, we're going to act like we're at the bar.
A virtual bar.
A virtual bar. Yeah. And so it just drew all these people in because everybody was looking for an outlet.
Yeah. During that time when everyone was stuck at home.
Sure. And it worked beautifully. We grew the group really quickly. And they said, look, we're going to call BNI and ask corporate, because this has never really happened before, but we want you to be a 2-time president. And BNI said, go for it. It's COVID. Weird stuff's happening. Do it.
Yeah.
And so I got elected twice to be president. And so I was like, let's do it. Let's keep growing. So I found a movie theater that was built right before COVID over in Spring, right off of 99 and Hallsworth.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And they basically were about to shut the doors. And I was like, look, what if I can bring this group of now 48 people, and we're probably going to have 20 to 40 visitors every week because nobody's got anything to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to get people together that aren't afraid to be together. You can wear a mask, you can do whatever heck you want to do, but let's just get together and network and hang out and have a good time and let loose a little bit. And man, we would have 60, 70 people there, and so the theater let us go there for free and hold our meeting in a theater. Was so awesome. And so we would put ourselves up on the big screen, and my slideshow was up on the big screen behind me, and I would do the clicker. Oh, it was amazing. I had a microphone, be walking around there. Yes, my ego was just.
I'm surprised your head fit in the movie theater.
Yeah. So we ended up growing that group to 53 members, and it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun doing it.
I don't think a lot of people even realize, if they're not familiar with BNI too, why 53 is such a huge number too, because there's only one person per field or profession.
Correct.
So it's not like you can have X many chiropractors or X many, you can only have one.
Yeah. I mean, if we could do that, then you could probably have 23 realtors in the first day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because of that many visits.
Yep.
Yeah. I love realtors, by the way.
But now you have a new marketing venture that you were just telling us about.
Yeah.
So
what were we just talking about?
the WGNO.
Oh, yeah. So there was this big group that was formed by a woman named Tara Mitchell. She moved here from Pittsburgh, and she didn't really have any friends. And so she created this women's group called WGNO, Women's
Girls Night Out.
Woodlands Girls Night Out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a huge business page on Facebook.
It became a bunch of women that were just kind of hanging out that didn't really have a bunch of other friends, and they all became friends, and it grew to, I don't know, 20, 30,000 women that are members now. So Tara decided to start doing some networking. So they created all these groups, and they're all women's groups. And so a few years back, we were talking to her, a couple friends of mine and I, and we convinced her to get a men's group out there. And so we had the first men's group. There's 2 others out there right now, and there's one co-ed group. But it's pretty cool. We meet every Tuesday morning, and it's just a bunch of guys who own businesses, and like we were talking about before, we can let loose a little bit, let our hair down, you know,
Flowing locks, right?
kick up our skirts. You know.
No, that is so awesome. Speaking of, so how did COVID affect your personal business?
It was weird. So I had to get very creative very quickly. Two things happened. So a lot of the commercial business went away because those buildings were vacated.
Yeah.
Some of them still are vacated.
Right. I know that's a huge issue.
But because people were home during the day, they got to experience what your air conditioner does during the day. Most people don't get experience an air conditioner at home during 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the hottest part of the day. Sun's beaming down. It's really putting that house to a test. And so that was pretty cool because we were considered essential. So we could be out on the road, which was amazing. Can you imagine going down Hardy Toll Road 120 miles an hour?
Because there's nobody else around, right?
No one's pulling you over. Like, you don't want COVID. You know what I mean? And you're in a service truck, so you must be essential.
Yeah, you're essential.
But we got quite a bit more residential calls, but people were also kind of weird about spending their money. They didn't want to spend a lot because everything was like, very unsure. What's going to happen tomorrow? So we found some products that started coming out that had actually come out before, and they started testing them against COVID. There was an ionizer that we could put in your system that would ionize the air as it comes through your blower motor, and they found that it actually kills COVID.
Kind of collects the particles.
Yeah. So we were servicing a bunch of retirement homes and hospitals and stuff, and so we started, upgrading a lot of their systems to that, and then we kind of marketed that to the residential side as well. Keep your home cleaner.
Yeah.
And so we did a bunch of that kind of stuff, and mold cleanings. Mold cleanings became very popular at that time because people already knew they had mold and it was a little dirty or whatever, but now I'm spending all day long in this house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trapped with
mold. Yeah.
Mold seems to be a hot button issue anymore. I feel like a lot of people, at least in my circle, I know are really concerned about mold. Do you see that picking up more?
A lot.
Yeah.
But also because, so years and years ago, before I started the company, I was getting a little curious about mold in our industry because we were starting to see it everywhere. Yeah. We saw it so much, in fact, that I believe it was State Farm for a few years just jumped out of the market because they had so many mold claims and it was ridiculous. So a lot of these companies were out there just like they would tint off your whole house and make tunnels, and it would look like an ET movie for this little patch on the wall.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just insurance. But because of that, I got to study with a mold microbiologist for 2 years. And it was amazing, everything he taught me and everything I learned. So I learned how to figure out what is causing mold in an air conditioning system, how to treat it, and then how to make sure it doesn't come back again. And none of the other companies around here know how to do that. I can tell you that because we go behind a lot of them after they've done a mold remediation and come back and do it the right way. And our clients never have a problem.
Wow.
Yeah. And we do a lot of them now. We do probably 4 a week, 5 a week.
So what's the most common reason why it's happening?
The most common reason why it's happening, folks, go look at your thermostat. If your thermostat fan is set to the on position instead of auto, you are actively creating mold and moisture in your system.
Because it's just continuously circulating.
So what happens is during the summer, your outdoor unit pumps Freon up to your upstairs unit, right? And there's a coil up there and the Freon goes back in some copper tubing. And then the air blows across that cold copper tubing, and that's what makes the air cold. Freon never touches the air. It never does that. It's in a sealed system and it just circulates, and it makes those little coils up there cold, and the air blows across the coils. Okay. When the outdoor unit shuts off, so let's say you had the thermostat set to 72, it gets 72 in your room, the outdoor unit will shut off. It will stop pumping cold Freon up here. But what's happening when that system's running? Those tubes are 40 degrees. The air blowing across it is 75 degrees. It's creating condensation. It's going to condensate about 20 gallons of water a day. That's coming across the face of that evaporator coil. Okay. When you satisfy the thermostat, that outdoor unit turns off. There's no more cold coils up there. The water's just sitting on the face of that coil, and the air keeps blowing because your fan's in the on position, not auto. If it was an auto, it would have shut off when that shut off, but it stayed on. And so now it's just blowing air across that water, and the water's getting hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. And then this thing finally kicks on, and then everything gets cold again. And then it shuts off, and it just more hot, humid air, more hot, humid air.
Wow.
And it just spreads it all throughout your house.
Well, that is good to know. You need to check that.
Yeah.
And that, my friends, is a story of how mold grows.
Well, that was good. That was educational. How would you say your business has changed from day one to now?
Dramatically. Let's start a business, because I've just started to get into golf and I want to play it all the time. I want to take all these vacations. So let's start a business. Wrong.
Yeah.
You have to get to a certain point before you can do those things.
Even that.
I didn't get to play golf for like 4 years. So I was like a little school kid back then. You know, I had visions of grandeur that were not true. Right. You know, were not realistic. Figured that out pretty quickly. And so now I'm more, I feel like, grounded, which I think is a really, really good thing. I'm very cautious now. I feel like I care more. The reason that I started my business is because I got tired of being told how much I had to sell. Because to me, that in relation meant, we're telling you how many people you have to go out there and steal from. And the company needs to make profits. I get it. But they force the technician to go out there and sell things that don't need to be sold and oversell them and rip people off. And the technician is the one that's got to go home and sleep at night. And I was that guy. And I remember that. And I remember I've got a big heart. You know, I could not live with that one. So the last straw for me was an older woman that I was told to sell a brand new system, and it was 8 years old, the one she had, and it was perfect condition. I just needed to do a few things. And I just, no more. I'm going to do things differently. And so we decided to do things differently. And everybody that I talked to was like, look, there's a reason they do things like that. And I just thought, man, let's just try to do the right thing and see what the heck happens, you know? And so we weren't charging as much, and we were repairing things instead of replacing things. But what started happening was I would get everybody on a street because everybody's out there talking about me.
It's a lot of work.
I would get, I've got you, I've got your cousins, I've got your brother, I've got your uncle, I've got whole families, trees, you know, because they all trust me. And I may come into your house today, Charles, and replace a capacitor in a 12-year-old unit, but just a couple of years, you're going to need that unit replaced.
Yep.
So the model works because
right.
I'm not just replacing your equipment now. I'm fixing it now, making money off of you. I'm
right.
just being
Absolutely.
honest.
That's
okay?
what, hey, that's what business is for.
Yes.
You have to have that.
I'm making money off you right now. You might have another breakdown in another year, and I'll fix you again. And then maybe the next year you'll be like, okay, but I'm not pressuring you.
Right.
I keep putting in front of you, this is what we can do.
Right.
We can fix this or we can replace it. Your choice.
Give them the option.
Give them the option.
So a lot of like peace of mind in your integrity that you have with your
Yes.
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I named it Prestige.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Where do you want your business to go? Like, where do you envision your future with it?
Future is a weird question right now. I had a future picked out with my youngest daughter taking over, my youngest child, my daughter, Celeste,
Celeste.
taking over.
Uh-huh.
And in December, she decided she wanted to be a world traveler. I don't know how that works, but yeah. The future was me grooming her to take it over.
Okay.
But that's not the future anymore. So I don't know where the future
So now
is.
we have to kind of pivot and figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do.
How much has your business like grown, do you feel like?
Over the years,
Because it's just you and your dad when you got started.
It was just me.
Well, yes,
Just you.
because
Yeah, my dad's got his own.
yeah,
company.
he learned his own thing, and then he was with a different company, and then he started.
Yeah, so let's jump back to that just real quick.
Yeah.
I worked for my dad for, I don't know, 10 years. And he said, you've worked for me long enough. You need to go see how other people do it.
Ah, I like that. Though. It's good to have that other perspective.
Yeah. And so I worked for 4 other companies after that before I started mine.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I didn't agree with him at first. And then I went and worked for this other guy and I was like, wow, he does things way different. And so I was like, 3 years later, let me go work for a different guy. Wow, he does things way different. And so I got all these perspectives and I have my own little notebook that I made all those years of all the right things and the wrong things.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Well, if somebody was trying to start their business in the same industry with AC,
Mhm.
what would be your advice to them?
Know that there's a lot of competition out there. We have the most air conditioning per capita in the world.
Really?
So we have the most air conditioning companies per capita.
I mean, Houston gets pretty hot. So
And really and truly, what is Houston anymore? I mean,
I know it's
I just moved out to New Waverly and some people that are out there say that we live in Houston. Like, I don't know.
when Dallas and Houston start touching.
I don't know. There's a lot of competition out there. Be very aware of it. Get your name out there and get your name out there for doing good things. Spend the time with the client, explain things to them. They don't know what we do. They don't understand like we understand. As technicians becoming owners, we tend to get into this mode where we just start rambling off things to the client, and we need to really break it down, not to make them dumb, but I want you to understand why you're about to pay me $4,000. You know,
that
I
value.
really want you to understand it. Because if you don't, you're going to smile at me and shake my hand. And as soon as Charles, that son of a bitch, I cannot believe, I mean, what the hell did he even do up there for $4,000?
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I think that's a huge thing in any industry. If you don't educate and you don't help people to see the value, all they see is the dollars.
That's it. That's all they see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So presenting that value and behind it is huge.
Right. And you don't get to see our stuff. I mean, if my buddies come in and see a big 80-inch TV hanging on the wall and I tell them it's $2,800, you know, they'll probably be like, I mean, that might be worth it. What all came in it? And then I start naming off all the stuff, you know.
They see the picture quality and
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey fellas, you don't even know it, but there's $4,200 worth of ductwork up there.
who cares? Highly insulated.
Yeah, you see in one of those industries too, where it's essential, right? But people don't always want to spend money on it.
Right.
So I think it's even more important that you let people know why.
And it gets ignored because it's hidden everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have no idea how many times as a technician, you'll go to a house and I'm sorry, it's mostly the housewife that does it. Ma'am, where's the outdoor unit? I need to go check your freon pressures. The what? The unit outside with the fan in it? I don't think we have one of those. Oh, you have one.
The big noisy box that's outside.
So people just ignore it. There was actually a questionnaire done, I think it was in 2019, maybe a little sooner, put out by the air conditioning industry, and it asked, what is your favorite air conditioning brand? And the highest vote, and I think it was in the 70s, was Honeywell. And they just make thermostats. So everybody thinks that's the brand.
That's the brand that they see. Yeah. Because they walk past there.
Right.
And
Which just tells you we've got to educate.
Yeah.
We've got to do a better job. You got to understand what's happening here.
I'm laughing because when you're like, Honeywell, I'm like, yeah, that's what I have. And I'm like,
no.
oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
Nope. I don't know. So, okay.
Next
I want to, I just for a little bit of fun, even though we're already having fun, what is the strangest scenario you walked into?
Strangest?
Yes. Look at this face.
3 different times I have walked in on, and my wife knows this, bare naked ladies.
What? They answered the door that way?
Well, after I fix everything and I come back in with the ticket,
They just happened to get out of the shower.
And then on the couch.
That is crazy.
Well, sometimes you slip and fall.
I need help up,
The
sir.
craziest one I've ever been to is late one night. I was a technician 25, 30 years ago, maybe. And it was in a house here in Spring. It was a 2-story home. There was an older couple that lived there, and they had 7 or 8 cats. Their air conditioning system went out, and so I had to go up and go through the attic, right? Which is upstairs.
Right.
I'm starting to walk up the stairs. I'm allergic to cats, by the way. I start walking up the stairs, and it starts burning my eyes, and it's burning my eyes. And I'm like, sir, you got cats up here? And he's like, there's 8 of them, but they're in the room. Just don't open any of the doors. And I was like, okay. I didn't understand why. So I'm up there working on the AC, and it smells horrible, and then I get everything running. And so I've got my temperature gun. I want to come down and check some temperatures real quick. I open one of the doors upstairs, and there's cats everywhere. He said there was 8 cats. There was like 20 cats, right? And there was a hole from each room to the other room knocked in the wall with hammers so they could travel through all the rooms.
What?
And all the doors were closed all the time because there was poo-poo and pee-pee everywhere.
No, are you kidding?
And it was horrible. And so I get everything running, and oh, that's right, it was frozen up. And so I started thawing everything out, and then I'm checking the evaporator up there because that's normally where you're going to find a freon leak is in the evaporator because of all that water that sheds across it, corrosion. So the evaporator is normally copper tubing with this aluminum fin tubes that the air blows through, right? So it's like really, really thin aluminum. I open up the evaporator coil, and it's all just crumbled down because all of the ammonia that's in the urine had corroded the entire coil inside there. I've never seen one like this before, and it all just fell apart
Onto the ground.
onto the floor of the evaporator, yeah, in the drain pan. It's crazy.
What did you tell him?
I was like,
cat pee is like killing
the cat urination. I'm sorry, sir, I've never said this before, but the cat urination is so heavy up there.
It's ruined your AC.
It has ruined your air conditioner completely. And I don't know what to do for you, man, because I can't replace this equipment. I can't be up here any longer. I'm going to die. And so I call my boss, and I'm telling him about it. And that I've got them kind of working right now. I mean, it's cooling, but it's leaking Freon. It's probably going to leak out in a week or so. It's cooling and yada, yada, yada. And he's like, well, I would have never even gone to the top of those stairs. What'd you do that for? And I was like, I never even had to do that. So that was a pretty nasty one.
Yeah, you send the trainee in, like,
Yeah, right?
look at the guy that just got hired.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe they knocked holes in the wall.
Holes in the wall and closed all the doors so they could just run between all the rooms. Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm sure there were good intentions behind it, but wow.
Yeah.
8 cats? More like 800 cats.
Oh, there was a lot of cats in there, brother. Yeah. Yeah. And they were just flooding in and out of those holes. It was like an alien movie. Wow.
So being an AC, you have to have, like, people call you all the time. Like,
All the
all
time.
hours.
Yes.
How do you handle that? Just
With
cool?
patience. With patience. So I have an office.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 people that answer phones. And when the office does close down during the day, we also have an on-call service. But sometimes people will get the owner's cell phone number. And if their AC's out at 2 a.m, well, who else are you going to call?
Brian.
Goodness.
And I will answer. And maybe that's why it continues to happen. But I will answer. They're my clients. They chose me. They didn't have to choose me, right? I'm like the little puppy in the SPCA, and
Oh my God.
I want to be the one.
Sarah with Laughlin singing in the background.
Oh, please don't sing this.
Let's start crying.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for our listeners, where do they find you?
Best way, old school phone, 281-288-6211.
I'll put that in the notes as well.
Or the website, prestige-ac.com.
for all the Houston area.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you so much for being on the show. This was really fun.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Until next time, guys. Thanks. You've been listening to Houston Hustle, celebrating the entrepreneurs who are shaping our city. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone building their own dream. Until next time, keep building, keep learning, and keep hustling.